Makeup steps. The first step is to get a clean shave. The better you shave, the easier it becomes for you to put on makeup. As you will see in the later steps, that there is a way to hide the beard cover that you have. So the best thing is always to get a shave which is as clean as possible. The second thing after you've done your shaving is to put a moisturizer. A moisturizer will help you to smoothen out the skin. Also, once you have shaved, you feel that itchiness in your skin, so you can just put the moisturizer after you have shaved, and it will help you to clear out the burning sensation that you have on your skin. And of course, after you've put your moisturizer, you need to wait for some time. Don't just go on to putting your other makeup products. So first step is to shave. Second step is to put moisturizer. Once you are done with your moisturizer and you've waited for some time, the next step is to go for a primer. A primer helps you to smoothen the look. It works as a second skin to create the perfect base and helps your makeup to stay for a long time. It will help your skin to stay protected from the chemicals that are there in the foundation or other makeup items. If you have an oily skin, use a matte primer. They have silicone in it. They are also called gel primers and will help your prevent your makeup from melting. If you have a dry skin, you can use a oil based primer or hydrating primer. It will prevent the skin and makeup from flaking. They typically contain oils that nourish the skin as well. There are other types of primers as well, like illuminating primers and primers for eyeshadows, which gives your eyes a matte look, but you don't have to worry about those primers as of now. After the primer, you can wait for a minute, and then the next step would be to work on your beard shadow. In order for you to cover your beard, you need to understand the concept of color wheel. Color correction or using a corrector is a method of using skin complementing colors to help you get rid of the discoloration. So I am using a corrector which is orange in color. If you are someone who has a fair skin, you can use shades of pink. If you are brown skinned, you can use shades of orange. If you have a darker skin, you can use shades of red. If you have blue undertones, you can go for something which is a peach corrector. If you have even more darker skin, go for something like orange or red correctors. If you look at the color wheel, you will see that your beard shadow would fall under any of these color tones which are mentioned in the color wheel. So my beard, when I shave, I have a beard shadow which is close to blue and green shade, so I go for shades of orange to counter this beard shadow. Also notice that I am just gently dabbing. I've taken the corrector in my fingertips and I'm using my fingertips to gently place it on the beard area. I'm not really doing very harsh movements, as you don't want to have any rub or a massaging movement. Just gently dab using your finger around the area where you have a beard shadow. And this is a step which takes practice. As you can see, the blue tinge or the greenish beard shadow which I had, it has started to kind of disappear. So this is the step of color correction or using a corrector. So whenever you are practicing makeup, before you put your foundation, always use a corrector. So first step was to shave, second step was to moisturize, third step was to put a primer to smoothen out the skin. And fourth step was to use a color corrector to hide your beard shadow. Use the corrector in every place wherever you see the beard showing. And the better you shave, the less amount of corrector you will have to use. So the first step was very important. The better you shave, the cleaner shave you get, the easier it will be for you to even it out or hide it using a corrector. And the color of the corrector will depend on the color wheel. Wherever your beard shadow falls in that color wheel, use the opposite end of the color wheel. The next step is foundation. It will help you to create an even base on which you can put any colors or makeup. But please ensure that the foundations and primers are commonly either silicone based or water based, and since silicone and water do not mix well, you have to use the same type of primer with the same type of foundation. So basically it means if you are using a silicone based primer, go for a silicone based foundation. If you are using an water based primer, go for a water based foundation. And in order to know what primer and foundation, how to tell if it is water based or silicone based, whenever you are buying, you can just check the ingredients. There are different types of foundations. For dry and oily skin, you can have liquid foundations. Light or medium coverage or full coverage, they can go for 3 to 4 hours. They can last up till 3 to 4 hours. You can use your fingers to dab it on the skin, or you can use a foundation brush as I'm using, with an outward movement on your face. There are also powder foundations for oily skins. It will last for 2-3 hours. Cream foundation for dry skin, it will last for 4 to 5 hours. You also have mousse foundation for all skin types. It only lasts for 2-3 hours. Then there are serum foundation, which is typically for oily skin. It can last for 2-3 hours. Always remember to use outward movement. Here I am using a foundation brush. Initially when you are applying a foundation, do not try to put a lot of foundation on the skin. Your idea is not to look very patchy and very cakey, right? Once you have applied a very thin layer of foundation on your face, the next thing what you can do is use a sponge and just dab it along. So when you're using a brush, you use outward movements, but when you're using a sponge, the idea is to just dab it. It should not look like that you have put a lot of makeup on your face. It should see as if there is hardly anything on your face. Remember, the idea of makeup is to not look very cakey, as if there's a lot of products on your face. You will not feel comfortable. So the best way to go about it is, after you've used your corrector, use a thin layer of foundation. On top of it, you can use a brush as I showed with outward movements, or you can just use a sponge. Using the sponge is one of my favorite things. As you can see, I'm just dabbing it. I'm not really putting a lot of pressure. I'm just lightly dabbing it so that it creates a very even look. And as you can see, it doesn't even look like I've put a lot of foundation or makeup on my skin right now. So this is the step which is pretty much the most important step for us. Once you have put the corrector on your beard shadow, you may have different colors on your face. Like your skin may look a different color, and your beard area with the corrector may look like a different color. But after that, it's the foundation step. Apply the foundation, a thin layer, evenly across the face, and just even it out, dab it using a sponge. As you can see now, it looks so clean, so even. And now we can go to the next step. The next step is to use a contour. Contouring is a technique for sculpting and adding dimensions to your face by using makeup that is slightly darker than your actual skin. It is not like foundation, which typically matches your skin color. Contouring is something which creates the effect of shadow and light. So as you can see, I'm applying a slightly darker shade of contour below my cheekbones and the side of my nose. It is just to give me that leaner face, because women tend to have a leaner face structure as compared to men. So you can use, as you can see, my nose, I'm trying to highlight the center part of my nose. I'm trying to darken the area below the cheekbones using a contour which is slightly darker than my skin. The next step is to highlight my nose and the top of my cheeks. So I'm using a highlighter which is a little lighter than my skin shade, and I'm applying it just below the eye area, at the top of my cheekbones, and I've applied it between the contour lines on my nose. As you can see, this will start highlighting those areas of your face where you want the attention of people. You don't want the attention of people to go towards your cheeks or your beard area or your neck area. You want people to pay attention to your sharp features. So you're edging out, you're slimming out, you're sharpening your nose using the concept of contour and highlights. And then again, it's very simple. You can just use a sponge to even it out so that it looks very natural. It doesn't have those clear color differences as if someone has put so much paint on your face. So just use a sponge, dab it gently, and check in the mirror. Along the nose, just even it out. It's really a very simple process. As you can see, I'm not really doing a lot of things. I just applied contour and highlight, and I evened it out using a sponge. Next is eyes. Take a pencil and keep it parallelly beside your nose, and then along the edge of the eye. Do it on the other side, beside the nose, at the beginning of the eye, and then from the nose till the end of the eye. This will give you the area where you have to focus while doing your eyeshadows. This also creates that V that makes your face look leaner. Next, take an eyeshadow brush and apply it on the full eye area that you already figured out. So this color should be very gentle. Do not use a very dark color. This is more like the base color of your eye makeup. As you can see, I'm using very gentle movements. I'm just dabbing the brush on the entire full eye area, which covers the lid as well as the area above the eyelid. If you have excess color on the brush, you can brush it off before you apply it on the eyes. Otherwise, it will fall on the cheeks and it will fall on the face. So that's the entire eye area. You already covered. You already looked at what is the eye area that you have to use using the pencils. Just dab it along. Since it is a daytime when I'm doing this makeup, I'm not using very darker colors. After you've covered the full eye area with a base color, you can go for the eyelid area. So now I'm going for something which is slightly darker than the full eye area. So I'm going for a shade of pink. As you can see, there is a slight difference between the full eye area and the eyelid portion. Just like how I had put the colors in the entire area, I'm just dabbing it. I'm not using very heavy strokes. Just gently dab it on the entire eyelid area, using your using your eyeshadow brush, and you can see a slight tinge of color, a slight tinge of pink, on my eyes. So this is the movement of the brush that you can also use. Just dab it gently. Do not use very harsh or very forceful movements. As you can see, suddenly above the eyes there is a hint of pink color towards the eyes. Please remember that when you are doing makeup for the day, keep the colors very gentle. If you are doing makeup for the night, you can go for darker colors, but the concept is that the full eye area, the color which I applied first should be the lightest. The color that you apply on the eyelid area should be a little darker than the base color, and then the third color that you can apply is on the outer part of the eyelid, and this should be darker than the previous color which I used. So as you can see, again I'm using a smaller brush. Towards the outer area of my eyelid. This gives you a very different look. It gives you a look where the attention of the viewer goes towards the eyes and not towards the other features of your face, and that is what you want. As you can see, there is a darker shade towards the outer areas of my eyelids. All I have done is taken a color which is a little darker and applied it to the outer areas of the eyelid. So this is the simple process of doing your eye makeup. Start with a base color which is very light. Next, go for a color which is a little darker and apply it on the eyelid. And third, use a color which is even more darker and apply it on the outer areas of your eyelid. And then you can just blend all the colors so that there is no clear distinction. As you can see, now it looks a lot more different than how it was, and I'm just blending all the colors now with a gentle brush movement. The next step after you have done with your eyeshadows is to go for a eyeliner. The eyeliner is something which you will be applying just above your eyelashes at the edge of your eyelids. There are different types of eyeliners which are available. What I typically use is a liquid eyeliner. It works the best for me, and I have seen most of the makeup artists also prefer using a liquid eyeliner. So this step is probably the most difficult step, because initially when you're doing it, your hands may shake when you're doing it, but all you need is to just gently create a line, a black line with your eyeliner above the eyelashes. You don't have to create anything extravagant or too flashy. Just create, it's like creating a border around your an upper border above your eye. You have to do it on both eyes. So start from the corner and create a line above your eye. I would suggest that when you're starting out, not to create an eyeline which is too thin, because there are certain eyeliners which have a very which are very thin. So probably buy something which is a little thick, and in just one stroke you will be able to create a thick eyeline above your eye, and it kind of creates that attention towards your eye. As you can see, there's a clear difference. A lot of my eyes have started popping out. My eyeshadows are clearly visible. It is giving that pinkish shade, and my eyeliner is making my eyes look a lot bigger. So this is pretty much the step that you have to do when it comes to eyeliner. The next thing, after you have put your eyeliner, is to go for mascara. Mascaras, are used to elongate your eyelashes. So use an upward downward movement. As you can see, I'm using an upward downward movement. This is basically to create a little more length to your eyelashes. I would not recommend at this stage to use false eyelashes. Yes, false eyelashes look really nice, but they are also a pain, a little difficult to apply, because you have to apply glue and then put it on top of your eyelashes. So if you're starting out, the best thing is to just use a good mascara and elongate your eyelashes. As you can see, there is a slight as you can see my eyelashes are clearly visible now. So take your time, go slow, use upward downward movement just like how I showed. It will definitely give you a very beautiful look to your eyelashes. The next thing is to curl your eyelashes using a curler. So I've placed, the way to do this, you have to be a little careful. Use a curler, place the eyelashes between the two knobs or between the curler and press it. Please ensure that you do not squeeze your skin here. Be careful. It will help you to curl your eyelashes upwards. The next step is your eyebrows. You can use a mascara which has dried and use the dry end of the mascara to shape your eyebrows in such a way that it gives you a clean look. As you can see, I'm shaping it in such a way that it doesn't have any eyebrows or any hair strands shooting up or going down. Then you can use your fingers to squeeze the eyebrows and give it a leaner look. The leaner the appearance of your eyebrows, the more feminine it appears. Also, if you have extra hair below your eyebrows, you can shave a little bit of it, or you can go to a salon, a unisex salon, and ask them to make your eyebrows a little thinner. Thin eyebrows which are beautifully shaped will definitely give you a very feminine appearance. The next step is to go for your lips, applying lipstick. So pick a color which matches with your overall look. If you have used the colors that you have used in your outfit or the overall look that you have, your lipstick should match with those colors. Don't use something which is totally different from the overall clothes that you're wearing, the overall look that you have. As you can see, I am applying the lipstick on the lip area. There are different types of different ways to apply lipstick. One is to directly use a lipstick and apply it on your lips. The other method also is to use a small brush, you can call it a lip brush, and just fill the missing areas after you have applied lipstick. This also helps you to create a beautiful line across your lips. If you're starting out, I would highly recommend to use a pencil like this which has a small brush, and just use it instead of using the lipstick to fill the entire lip space. That's pretty much it, and you're done. As you can see, my eyelashes are looking pretty prominent, my lips are looking prominent, my makeup is it doesn't look over the top, my eyeshadows, my eyes are popping out. Yes, there are a few things which are missing here. Next is your wig and your dress. Once you have put on your wig and your dress, you are pretty much ready to go out. But Another step that you can use here is to apply kajal. This is not a mandatory step, but it definitely works well if you can add this step as well. Apply the kajal to the lower end or the lower waterline. Just remember this, kajal is something which you apply to the lower waterline, and eyeliner, which you applied earlier, is something that you apply to the upper waterline. Of course, you need a little bit of practice, but if you can fill your upper waterline with eyeliner and the lower waterline with the kajal, you will see it creates a huge difference in the way your eye looks. Once you have done, your eye makeup is pretty much done, your entire makeup is also done. But next, as an add-on, you can apply a little bit of blush on your cheeks. So remember the highlighter you had put, remember the contour you had put. So between the highlighter area and the contour area is where you can apply a little bit of brush, and as you can see, it will start giving you that slight pink tinge on your cheeks. That's all. You don't really need to have a lot of blush or a lot of colors on your face. You're pretty much done. All you have to do is practice, practice, practice.